I want you to close your eyes for a second and imagine your childhood summers. Playing gully cricket until the sun disappeared, melting mangoes dripping down your chin, chasing the gola guy in the middle of the afternoon, dusty hands and bruised knees from goofing around in the playground all day. The heat never bothered us. In fact, who thought of the heat? It was just summertime, and it was the best time of the year. But do you think summer looks like this for kids today? The simple answer? No. Now it's heatwave warning, staying cooped up in AC rooms and empty playgrounds. But that question and its answer, it kept haunting me because deep down I knew it wasn't just nostalgia. Something had indeed changed, and this didn't feel like the good kind of change. So I started digging, and what I found honestly scared me. Let me tell you what's actually happening.
Every day the temperature is rising. India recorded its hottest year in 2024 since 1901.
India's capital of Delhi recorded a temperature of 52.9 degrees Celsius, the highest ever in India.
And the damage isn't just ecological, it's economic.
High temperatures also led to a loss of more than 167 billion potential labor hours in India last year.
Increased heat is expected to cost India 2.8% of its GDP by 2050.
Now, of course, it is global warming. But it is not just global warming. It's also the way your city is built. Glass, concrete, traffic, shrinking greens, it's all part of the trap. The urban heat trap. I'm your host Lavanya, and in this episode of the Climate Brief, we dig deep into why your city feels hotter every summer and why the answer might be more local and more urgent than you had ever imagined. So the first thing I wanted to know was simple. Am I just overreacting? Or like some uncles say, your generation is not tough enough? Or is it actually getting hotter? Then I found this website called Show Your Stripes. Here's how it works. You pick any place in the world and it shows you temperature changes as colored stripes year by year. Blue means cooler years, red means hotter. So I tried Mumbai, then Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Pune. Didn't matter what I picked, the pattern was identical. India's average temperature has already risen by 0.7 degrees Celsius since 1901. That might sound tiny, but in climate terms, that's like going from a mild fever to burning up. 2016 was India's hottest year ever, until 2024 broke that record. The more I dug, the more I found that cities are not just victims of climate change. They are making their own weather. They're creating their own layer of heat. And if you live in a city, you're not just experiencing global warming, you are experiencing something more. Something called the urban heat island. Let me show you what that looks like. Every city is slowly becoming like a giant oven, trapping heat and turning up the dial. This has a name. It's called the urban heat island effect. In any city, the temperature map usually follows a clear pattern. Commercial zones are the hottest, then come the residential areas, and rural patches, just a few kilometers away, are often the coolest. Same city, same weather, but a totally different experience depending on what's around you. And the difference is brutal. In Ahmedabad, dense urban pockets are 3 to 4 degrees Celsius hotter than the surrounding areas. The difference is even more stark for nighttime temperatures. During Delhi's May heat wave, nighttime temperatures in built-up areas were over 20 degrees Celsius hotter than the nearby forests and fields. In Bangalore, the average annual gap between urban and rural temperatures ranges from 4.6 degrees Celsius to nearly 6.7 degrees Celsius. And during summer nights, that difference widens even more, up to 7.1 degrees Celsius hotter in the city than outside it. Even cities like Raipur and Bhopal showed gaps of 2 to 4 degrees Celsius between urban and rural areas. Over the last decade, Mumbai saw 15 more very warm nights per summer than the previous 3 decades. Bengaluru added 11, Delhi 6, Jaipur and Bhopal 7 each. And here's another interesting thing I learned. Heat isn't just about the temperature the thermometer measures, it's also what your body feels. This is called the heat index or the feels like temperature that you see on the weather app on your phone. It combines temperature and humidity, and in many Indian cities, humidity is going up fast, which means the heat index or felt like temperature has increased in all megacities. That makes even average days feel unbearable. Monsoon months, especially in Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, and Kolkata, are now more thermally uncomfortable than peak summer. So, why is this happening? What exactly is making our cities so much hotter? In rural areas, trees, water, and soil absorb sunlight and release it slowly. In cities, concrete, asphalt, glass, and steel soak up heat during the day and release it back all night. The result? Even after the sun sets, cities stay hotter, sometimes even by 10-15 degrees Celsius. Cities are not just accidentally hot, they are built that way. The first factor is the materials that go into building our city. Urban surfaces are made of materials like concrete, asphalt, bricks, steel, and glass that are good at retaining heat and tend to hold more heat compared to grass, trees, and open ground. This, combined with how buildings and roads are designed, often ends up blocking wind and trapping hot air, making things worse. Think about it. Narrow lanes that trap hot air, high rises that block the wind, rooftops that reflect nothing. In Mumbai, for instance, new glass towers block the sea breeze that once cooled entire neighborhoods. And in most Indian cities, roads are built with dark asphalt, which absorbs 90 to 95% of sunlight. Once heated, it radiates warmth for hours, turning streets into slow-cooking tandoors by sunset. Then there are the cars that the roads are filled with. Cars parked bumper to bumper, radiating heat that has nowhere to go. Then it's the lack of green cover and water bodies. Most of our cities have lost their green cover at an alarming rate. According to Global Forest Watch, India lost over 2.3 million hectares of tree cover since 2000. Water bodies aren't doing much better either. According to India's first National Water Bodies Census in 2023, only about 3% of the country's 2.4 million water bodies are in urban areas, highlighting how few remain as cities have expanded. In Bengaluru, nearly 80% of its lakes and 90% of its green cover have vanished in just a few decades. And finally, there's us, the people. The sheer intensity of human activity in cities makes everything worse. More vehicles, more air conditioners, more construction, more emissions, and some of it turns into a vicious cycle. For instance, we use ACs. But the more we rely on air conditioning to escape the heat, the worse we make it. They cool homes by pumping hot air outside, making streets warmer. More ACs means more heat being trapped outside, which means more ACs. It's a vicious loop. And barely any trees to cool it all down. This isn't just poor planning, it's the planning that forgot about heat. Some cities are now 80 to 90% built up. At that point, they're not cities anymore. They're ovens with traffic. And that is what creates the urban heat island. This isn't just a climate story. It's a design failure, a planning crisis. But that also means it's fixable. We have built cities that trap heat, but here's the good news. We can also build cities that fight it. And the solutions are already here, like cool roofs. Simple white paint on rooftops that reflects sunlight and brings indoor temperatures down by 2 to 5 degrees Celsius. Hyderabad and Ahmedabad have already implemented it, and it works. Early warning systems that alert vulnerable communities before the heat spikes can also help. Or even heat shelters, designed to keep people safe during extreme days without relying on energy-guzzling ACs. And here's something worth checking out. CEEW just did a brilliant series showcasing real heat solutions from 5 Indian cities. It's packed with local, low-cost innovations, from UV alerts in Kerala to heat insurance in Ahmedabad, emergency cooling units in Delhi, net zero bus stations in Jodhpur, and cool roofs in Odisha. Go watch it, it might just inspire your own city to act. Moreover, we also need to start planting native trees in the right places. Along with that, we need to bring back water, ponds, lakes, shaded canals, anything that lets the city breathe. Because this isn't just about surviving summer, it's about reclaiming it. So maybe one day kids will chase the Gola guy again. If you'd like us to follow this up with another video that dives into solutions, please leave a comment. And if this video helped you understand your own city better, share it. Talk about it. And don't forget to subscribe to the Climate Brief, because your summer might just depend on it.